Shalom, this is Jessica. Welcome to my channel, Divinely Different. Today's topic is about empathy, and I will be providing an example as a way to encourage others when you have conversations, whether it is in a context of a professional setting or a non-professional setting, in an interpersonal dialogue with somebody that is a colleague, a friend, a partner, not so much in the context of a dialogue with someone who is, say, a pastor to a church member, or a teacher to a student. Now, of course, when you're having this dialogue, your vernacular will, of course, matter whom you're speaking with. And so what I wanted to share with you is because I've often found through my experience as a pastor's wife, also having a degree in psychology and also being used in counseling prior to, that we often do not realize that we have a disconnect of understanding truly how we feel and what we're thinking. Psychological projection is real and it is often not our friend. And so to give you an example to see if whether you are truly understanding empathy as compared to sympathy, because sympathy is the near cousin to empathy. See, empathy is all about trying to acknowledge another person's feelings and literally feel like you're in that person's shoes. So when you say you sympathize with somebody, you are actually might be feeling something similar to what they may be feeling, but if you have realized, if you take a step back, you're making it about you. And that is not what you want to do when you're having a dialogue. Empathy is all about trying to achieve understanding, not correction, understanding. And that is very, very important, especially if you're having a dialogue with somebody that you actually feel is important in your life, okay? So the example, I'm going to go with this. If someone were to say to you, I don't think you understand how I feel. You're always just giving me information and facts. Now, that statement there actually does not have any labeled feelings in it. Now, if that individual were to say, I'm frustrated, I don't think you understand how I feel, you're just giving me facts. Now, to show empathy and to see about how we are achieving it with this individual, because obviously you can infer that this individual is, prior to even, might be feeling frustrated, might be a little disappointed. Oftentimes emotions can actually have more than one feeling tied into it. And sometimes people might use one emotion in very broad strokes. So to continue on with the dialogue in hopes that you are trying to achieve empathy and that you actually do want to understand what this person is saying and why they are frustrated, to show that you are actively listening, you can then paraphrase to that individual saying, okay, from what I understand, you are sharing with me that you are frustrated when it seems that I am only just giving you facts and I am not understanding how you feel. Now, if that individual were to say through verbal or written, however it is needed to verbalize agreement. So if they're in agreement and they're like, yes, that's exactly how I feel, or yes, so forth, you actually then achieved empathy. You actually achieved empathy. But if you have not, and they're still trying to process and verbalize, this is where more elaboration, more questions to inquire as to why they are feeling frustrated, because oftentimes the disconnect between how we feel and what we're thinking can occur. So I hope this has helped somebody. Empathy, again, like I said, is not about correction, it's about understanding. And I know many can say that, there's people out there who don't have empathy, and this is true, but empathy can be a skill that can be taught and you can grow in if you choose to do so. Some do tend to have a little lower amount, and they just don't feel it's as important. This is where a person's convictions and beliefs will come in as to how important it is for them to be empathetic as compared to maybe sympathetic or just neither. Well, Hope that helps somebody. Hope it encourages you. Take care. God bless.